Hey guys, today we're going to talk about the person history, and I've thought about a couple of ways to go through that. And I think the easiest thing is to just kind of walk through a normal user workflow and watch the person history records get created as we go along. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. So let me go ahead and create this person. All right, so there they are. And if I first thing I do is scroll down, take a look at their history. I can show that I created person number such and such. This is the database ID. It's not their student ID. Okay, so it won't necessarily be super useful to you guys. Of course, if you're looking at the person, then you've already got them pulled up. But it helps us in troubleshooting. So anytime the system sends an email, it designates that the system sent it. So the system sent an email to Tony with the subject CloudCard needs your photo, and then also it updated my password from blank to blank. Okay, now that is this last line here is worth knowing and understanding. Why of all the fields that just got set on this person, why this one got specified. Okay, when the first person is first created, it doesn't record, the initial settings of all the fields because from that point on, it records any changes to the fields. So if a field doesn't get changed, you can always just go look at the record and see what the original setting was because it never got changed. And if it ever did get changed, you can see what it was changed from and to. So this, however, is an update to the person. We've updated the person and we changed the password from something to something. And the reason that happens is every time a login link gets sent out as part of one of these emails, just for security purposes, we reset the user's password. Now, the card holders don't ever know their passwords. Okay. So they're not getting locked out because they don't know their password, but it's just resetting their password just for security reasons, for added security. I'm sure it's probably over and above what's necessary, but that's what's happening, and that's why that's being recorded there. And then it records that I'm the one that changed the password because I'm the one that created the user. I'm the one that initiated this request that caused all of this to happen. Emails are handled a little bit differently, which is why it says the system sent the email. But one of the things that we're going to see as we go through this is we see these field by field changes to the users, and they're not as contextual as we would like them to be. They're very helpful for us on the development side. This is an audit logging plugin that's doing this work. It's watching the field by field changes on the database tables and what user made those changes. But it doesn't always explain with great context what's happening, which is why we're shooting this video. If it was self-explanatory, you wouldn't need to watch a video. All right, so anyway, this is what it looks like when a user gets created. You see these three records. It's very, very common. So let's go ahead and jump over to my inbox, and here's the most recent email that I just sent. And let's take a look at over here. Let's take a look and see what changes. I just clicked on the link. So let's see people. All right. Ooh, looks like we have a lot of people called test. All right. So let's take a look at this guy. All right. And okay, it didn't actually activate. It doesn't activate him until I click accept the terms. So when I accept the terms, let me go ahead and just refresh this page here. And we'll see that a couple of fields, right, updated the date terms accepted from null to today's date when they were accepted. All right, so let's go back over here. We're going to go ahead and take a photo. All right, let's see. Let's grab any one of these would be fine. How about this gentleman with sunglasses? Okay, so we've submitted that one. Let's go back over here and take a look at our history and see what changes uploading a photo made to the person record. Okay, so we can see that Tony Test, my user account, right, just created this photo. Again, this is the database ID of the photo, and then I updated the photo by changing the external URL from null to blah, 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 blah. So this crazy long string is is basically how the application accesses the actual photo file itself. So I'll just for formative purposes, let me just paste that in there. Um, this is how the application pulls the binary image itself and displays it like it's doing right here. Okay, that photo is coming from this URL. Okay, so that's the URL of the photo that gets created during the creation process, and then it shows that we updated the status from pending to en route. Right, photos are just that lets the application know that I am still logged into the application, so that if you were to go and look at the photos, for instance, you don't see that photo in here because I'm still logged in and I'm still working on the photo, so it's over here en route. All right, let's do the next thing. So I can go ahead and maybe make changes to my photo. All right, so let's just crop it. I'm gonna just do that, and let's just be silly and rotate it, and I'll save those changes. Okay, so there's my new photo, and let's take a look at what we've got. Oops, actually should have just gone over to that. Let's go back over here. All right, so there's my photo. Looks like HelperBot's already re-rotated it for us. So we're gonna have quite a few changes. So yeah, look at all that just happened. Okay, so let's see where we were. So I had there's my original photo, 492 181 492, which I set to en route, and then let's see what happened in the interim. In the background, HelperBot sent me photo feedback on that original photo, so I can go take a look at that. And you can see there's the instant feedback. There's two of them because HelperBot's now sent me two, right? They sent the one at 10:59 and one at 11:01 because there's two photos. The first photo, and then this one that's been updated. So jumping back over here, now I've got HelperBot turned up really fast on this computer, which is why, or on this instance, why they're coming so quickly. But let's go back over here. So we got that first instant feedback. Okay, that includes a login link, so it reset the password. Right, you see that system reset password. I just sent out a login link, and that's included in the photo feedback email. Most of the emails are going to trigger a password reset. And then the system updated the photo by changing it from HelperBot reviewed false to true. So basically, that lets us know that this particular photo was reviewed by HelperBot. And then you can see the next thing that happened 2 minutes later was that I edited that photo. Okay, and you can see here's the original photo, right? 492. So here's photo 493, right? So I created photo 493. When I created photo 493, I changed the status of 492, the first photo, from en route to discarded. Okay, so that just discarded that photo, so that CloudCard's not going to pay any attention to that photo anymore. Okay, and then 493, I set the the URL for the photo, and this would show us, if I paste this up in here, I'll see that closely cropped photo. So there's that first photo that was created, or the second photo that was created, and then I set that to en route because I'm still logged in, right? And then the system created photo 494. Now, who's the system here? The system is HelperBot, right? HelperBot came up behind me and said, hey, photo 493 is all well and good, but we need to make some changes to it, right? So it updated the status of 493 to discarded, right? So it discarded 493, and then it set the URL. So let's see what that photo that the system created was. So here's the photo that the system created. This is photo 494, right? So it rotated. It found the face, and it said, hey, that face in this picture is sideways, so it rotates it and created a new version. So this basically gives us a history of all the changes to the photos, right? System updated photo 494, setting it to en route, right? Because I'm still logged in. Okay. And then the system creates photo 495 and discards 494. So what's the change that happened there? This is probably a cropping change, right? Because it rotates first and then crops. So we take a look at that photo, and we have the new photo, which looks almost identical to the existing photo. The difference here is, what is the difference here? They're the same resolution. So it just made some tiny cropping change to it, which we can't even see. But went ahead and created that photo. So that's basically the cropped version of this photo. Um, and it set, after discarding 494, it sets 495 to en route. Why? Because I'm still logged in. And then after doing all of that stuff, it sends that second instant photo feedback that we saw over here that came at 11:01. So there's that second photo feedback, and it says, "Hey, I think this is probably going to get rejected." Okay, and that's true. It would almost certainly get rejected, and because it's sending photo feedback, which includes a link, right? So let's take a look at. So you see that link there, okay? Since it goes ahead and resets the user's password, and then it updates photo 495, which is the last one, saying, "Hey, I've reviewed this photo and made a decision on it." So we use that within the application to do other things. So a lot of stuff happened there. So here's that first photo, 492, getting reviewed by HelperBot, and then here's us cropping the photo, and then or here's 492 getting reviewed. Here's us cropping the photo and rotating it wrongly. Here's the system rotating it correctly, recropping it, and then marking it as reviewed. So a lot of stuff happening there, but that kind of helps you understand some of the things that are happening. So let's go ahead and if we look back here, there's really not much more that we can do on this system. Now you can see I'm still looking at the old version, and that's because when this screen loaded, the photo hadn't been cropped and rotated by HelperBot yet. But if I was just to refresh this page, what I'm going to be seeing is the most recent one that HelperBot cropped and rotated. And let's go ahead and just sign out at this point and see what happens. So now I've signed out. So let's go ahead and refresh over here, see what happens. All right, now scrolling on down here. Okay, and it shows that the last thing I did when I signed out was I moved the photo from en route to pending. Okay, and we should now be able to go over here and see that photo down here in pending. Okay, so as part of the logout process, I move my photos over and let the card office know, hey, you can work on that photo now. So let's go ahead and work on it. Let's first approve it. Okay. Oh, he needs an ID number. I didn't give him an ID number before I can approve him. So let's go ahead and set an ID number on him. And we'll pick this one. All right. And back to the photos. And let's approve that. All right. Let's go take a look at the changes that we see on our photo. We see the photo here is approved. Let's go look at our person. Scrolling down. All right, so here's where the last thing that we saw, where I had moved my photo to pending. Now you'll notice the user that I'm logged in as, right, Tony at SharpTop, has updated the identifier field, right? So that's where I set that student ID number. And then I also, looks like it says I created a couple custom field values. And the reason for that is basically when I save this page, I set these values to blank. Because I saved it with blank in there. So these are custom field values, campus and name. You'll have different ones on your school. So those are set. And I know this isn't as super helpful, having these, it would be a lot nicer if it had the actual name of the custom field. We can look that up, but right now, just the plugin that we're using to do the audit logging, this is what it gives us. Finally, we have, that this system sent me an email saying my photo was approved. That happened whenever I clicked approved, and Tony, the admin user, right, updated the photo by changing the date approved to today's date and um, the status from pending to approved. Okay, so that we saw all that. All that makes pretty good sense. So let's go back to our photos. Let's grab that approved photo and let's go ahead and deny it now. And say it must be color photo. Submit that. Okay. Going back to the, here it is, going back to my person page. So you can see I updated the status to denied and it shows that I was the one that did it. And actually, let me go ahead and go back. I'm going to approve it and then download it just so we can see what that looks like as well. So back to photos, denied. Let's approve that photo. That's going to create another record in the table. And then let's go ahead and download photos. All right, so that's pretty much done. And then if I go look at downloaded, there's my photo. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and just check this to mark it off as done as well. So let's take a look at what we see there on the done page. Here we go. So there is where I had denied it, right? And then I went ahead and reapproved it, right? So I sent another email saying, hey, your photo was approved. And oh, there's the denial email that went out earlier. I'm sorry, I didn't mention that, but the denial email, the password reset that goes along with a link being sent out. Oh, we set the date approved to null whenever we deny a photo that's been previously approved, right? So that you can see that it's essentially unapproved. And then we changed the status to approved from approved to denied. So that was that first denial. Then we reapproved the email, so I'm not going to go through that again. And then I changed the status from approved to downloaded and downloaded to done. Okay, so that's kind of start to finish how to read the person history page. There's other things that could pop up in here. I might change the name to my name, and I might change the campus to East Campus if I wanted to, and I could save that. And if we scroll down here, oh well, actually, it looks like I have to refresh this page to get that to reload. We're going to see that those fields got changed. And a lot of times, I know you can't see the name of the custom field that's getting changed, but a lot of times you can tell by at least the value that's in there, which field it was that got updated. So anyway, I hope that's really helpful for you guys as far as reading and understanding the person history page. And please, if you've got questions, definitely reach out to support@onlinephotosubmission.com. We're happy to help. And but we created this so that ideally you won't have to reach out to us so much, and you can you'll have the information right there at your fingertips to answer your students' questions immediately and help them without having to wait for a response from us. Anyway, cheers. You guys have a great day and enjoy the rest of your summer.